I'm not in a position to help anyone. I'm even trying my best to just help myself. Hey, oh my goodness. Some people can just be so, hey, can just be so heartless, honestly. I've been getting these weird comments telling me that, hello guys, I've missed you. Honestly, guys, I feel like I've missed you so much. And actually, that's the reason why I'm here. And yeah, as usual, I had no plans of making any video. Right now, it's some few minutes to 11 p.m. And tomorrow I'm going to job. And I can't say that it's late night because for those people who know me, they know that I'm used to sleeping very late at night, and I don't complain. Guys, there is something, first of all, I want to make it clear to each and every person who is watching this video that as much as we make content, it does not mean that we are in our perfect space in our life. I'm sorry. It does not necessarily mean that we have achieved anything in our life, and or maybe we feel like as if we've made it in our life. No, it does not necessarily mean that. And there is one thing I also want to make clear, that if there is someone who has a bigger dream that I know, it's me. And anything that you feel like I upload in this YouTube content and you feel like maybe I'm bragging, just know that I've achieved nothing. Literally, I've achieved nothing to afford bragging, because like I have a very big dreams. Like I have so big dreams, and I even don't know how to get there. And I feel like I have nothing to brag, honestly. I feel like I have nothing to show to the world to brag about it. Maybe because I am of good health, maybe I can brag about that, about my God has kept me safe. Maybe because I let me just sip a cup of water. By the way, I was taking this is not juice. I don't know if you can see the color. This is not juice. This is turmeric, ginger, lime. Yeah, turmeric, ginger, and lime. I had boiled the mixture, and that's what I'm taking. Ah, it is not the sweetest thing that you'll ever take, because I've not added any sugar, and it's yucky, honestly. What was I saying? I was telling you guys that whenever you see someone just chosen to just sit down and record a video and talk about themselves, talk about what they've done in their lives, talk about that they have shifted to one bedrooms due to whatever rooms, talk about they have managed to buy sijui curtains. That's not bragging, for crying out loud. Like, you guys, do you know what dreams people have outside here? I don't want to sound like I'm rude, but people have so big dreams, and when they do something tiny, it does not mean that they are bragging. It doesn't mean that they are bragging, and it can only be God. Honestly, it can only be God. And guys, um, it's normally good to celebrate others as you wait your turn. I learned to commit everything to God, and I learned to just to appreciate everything that happens in my life, whether it's small, whether it's big, whether it's nothing. I learned how to just be so appreciative to God, and for anything that you feel like maybe I'm bragging about, just know that maybe whatever anything that I normally post in the YouTube, it's because I'm appreciative to God. It's because I'm appreciative to God, not because like I feel like I have achieved so much. And you can literally comment in the comment section and tell me that sijui unafanya hivi, watu sijui wako na nini na watu wakuji kutuonyesha kwa YouTube. Come on guys, we are not doing this just because you want to brag to you, honestly. And it's so funny when someone just comment in the comment section and tell me that I'm bragging. For what? Like, what do I have to even brag, honestly? What do I have to even brag? What have I attained in my life? Do you know the dreams that I have? Like, do you know what my goals are in my life? Like, I have so huge dreams, and I even don't know how we'll ever get there. I have so many big goals that I have set for my life, and I even don't know how I'll get there. And whenever you see someone doing something tiny, just learn to appreciate the fact that they're there, Just learn to appreciate the fact that maybe if you're not there, you will also get there. And just learn to appreciate the baby steps people are making, and don't just come out so rudely when people, hey, oh my goodness, some people can just be so, hey, can just be so heartless, honestly. I've been getting these weird comments telling me that ati sijui unatuburagia na nini, and people have attained so many big things and they're not coming here to tell us it on YouTube. Come on, am I the one who's stopping them to do that? Am I the one who's stopping them? I'm not here to respond to any comment, but I just wanted to let each and everyone, especially you who normally comment that you've made me realize that it can only be God. And as much as maybe the comments has been coming like so out so negatively, it have made me to appreciate the fact that it can only be God. It can only be God. Even for someone to just comment that unaringa sijui na hauna uko na nini na hauna, it can only be God. Like it can only be God that you are. I am where I am today. It can only be God. Like you people, do you know where people have come from? Like, do you know where I have come from? Do you know, like, do you even understand? Do you even know where people have come from? It's so bad for people, someone to just come from nowhere and comment such a thing. But anyway, I'm not discouraging you to comment, because the fact that you're commenting means that you've been watching me and means that you have watched the entire video and you have seen the fact that huyu msichana anaringa na hana kitu, yeah? Anyway, guys, the reason why I did this video, it was not to respond to anyone, but it was just to tell you guys that it can only be God. Like it can only be God. Because sometimes back I never dreamt of me, of the current me. I never knew of the current me. I don't know if I've ever reached in that point whereby you are in your lowest point. You feel like you have no one to contact, to ask for help. You have literally, like, you reach at that point. You feel like this is now my end point. Like this is now my end point. And guys, there is something that I want you to understand, that whatever we normally call it as our end point, that's no does not necessarily mean that that is the end point of our God. Because when the Bible says that God has a great, like, oh, you know, the plans I have for you, this great. I know sometimes that verse, it's normally so hard to understand. It's normally very hard to comprehend in our lives, especially when you're going through stuffs. But I want to encourage someone out there that when the Bible says that God has a great plan upon our lives, it's true. And even in our lowest, even in our worst moment, Bible verse still stands out. Even when you feel like now you have reached your end point, God still have great plans in your life. Even when you feel like everything has just failed you, even when you feel like no one to call to a request for help, just know that when the Bible says that God has great plans upon our lives, that verse is true. It's true. And honestly, guys, I want to say that from the bottom of my heart, because if there is something that I have ever that have carried me to this point, it is God's grace. And I normally say it as a testimony, because I know where God have brought me from. Honestly, I know where God has brought me from, and I still feel this is not where I wanna be. This is not where I have always wanted to be. I want to go to places. I want God to raise me even higher. And so for each and every person who feel like I'm bragging right now, hold on, sister, or hold on, brother, because I'm still yet coming back to the great testimony and more testimonies and more videos showing you where God's grace have taken me. Because I'm not just going to shut up and just say nothing about what God has done to me, because you. If you only know where God has brought me from, if you only know what God has in store for me, if you only know, I even don't know what to say. But as much as maybe this video is coming out rude, I also want to assure each and every person out there that when you feel like you're in your lowest, when you feel like maybe you have hit the rock, just know that it can only be God. That it can only be God who can save you from where you are to where you want to be. It can only be God who has saved me from where I was to here I am. And it can only be God who can save me from this point to the next level. It can only be God. And it's always good, it's always good to appreciate the fact that when we feel like this is our end point, it's never God's end point. It does not mean that God is done with us. Does not mean God is done with that. Even if there is something that I have come to understand very clearly, is that whenever I feel like this is my end point, that does not mean that God has done, like it is done with me. And actually, most of the time, when I feel like I have hit the rock hard, the bottom rock, and that's normally where God starts. That's normally where God starts. Like when I just feel like I've reached at the end point, and I just surrender each and everything to God, and I just tell God that, God, you can just take control, because if it's my energy, like, I'm done. If it's my powers, like, I'm done. If it's my knowledge, if it's my education, like, God, I've just surrendered. And guys, when you see us here, not necessarily, I don't want to talk about others. When you see me here, and when you see me talking about um things that maybe God has done to me, I want to make it clear to you guys that there was so many instances whereby I had reached my end point. There were so many instances whereby I had reached at my end point, and I was like, God, if you does not save me here, then I'm just going to drown. I'm just going to go down. I'm just going to end. And God is so faithful. Like, God is so faithful, guys. I don't want to lie to you guys that maybe I have been so brave. I don't want to lie to you guys that I have known, like, I'm so much connected to people. I don't want to lie to you guys. I even don't want to lie to you guys. And there's also some people who normally watch me in the YouTube, and then they just feel like maybe I've made it, and what I don't know how this is going to come out from my mouth. And then when they need me, and then I'm not there for them, they just feel like, I'm sorry to say, but I know they normally feel like, oh, you already said I'm too. Oh, guys, like, I have nothing. Okay, I don't want to say like I have nothing, but I'm not in the position to help each and everyone. I'm not in the position even to help my family, leave alone like the friends and the whatever and the fans. I'm not in a position to help anyone. I'm even trying my best to just help myself. I'm trying my best to even just help myself. So when you see someone, like when you see me out there and maybe you want my help, and then I don't come through for you, please don't come for me. Please don't come for me. Creating YouTube content does not mean that I'm making money. And honestly, guys, I want to be open to you guys that YouTube has never paid me anything, even a single coin. YouTube has never paid me anything. And actually, if there is something YouTube that has done to me, is only expenses. I have expenses of buying a good phone, not like a good phone, because this is exactly also this is not where I want to be in the future, like buying this microphone, buying the ring lights, and yeah, those are expenses. As much as maybe they don't seem like an expense to each and every one of you guys, whenever you see us boldly sitting down and recording ourselves and posting a video, that does not mean that we don't have problems. That does not mean that now we are able to carry your burdens. That does not mean that you can now call us each and every time you feel like you want us to help you and you expect us to come through for you. That does not mean that, honestly, guys. And I'm not saying this in a rude way, but I'm just just stating this in a way that I also want you to understand, guys, that we also have our burdens that we even don't know how to handle them, guys. If I can tell you, if I can just be open to you and tell you what I want in my life, oh my goodness, like I feel like even if right now, like, you just give me like even 10 million, like you just give me 10 million right now, it will not be enough for me. Honestly, it will not be enough for me to just solve my struggles that I have right now. We are struggling, all of us, differently. We are all struggling differently. And when you see us recording a video, does not mean that we are earning anything. Does not mean that now we made it, and that's why we have the courage to come and face the camera. No, it does not mean that. And sometimes I even tell sometimes I normally tell my friends that sometimes tunakujanga kwa camera just to release our stresses. And I believe that's true, because sometimes when you just come to the camera and just record a video encouraging you, telling you what God can do, sometimes I normally do that not even for you guys. I normally do that for myself. Sometimes when I record videos about my house tours, I record that not for you, but just for myself, so that I can encourage myself. I can remind myself that you're not where you started and you're still going far. Yeah. So guys, please, for those people who normally comment weird stuffs in my account telling me that, oh, Nina Ringa and I have attained nothing. May God help you. Honestly, I can just say, may God help you to understand whereby God has brought us and where God is taking us. And may God reveal to you, or rather give you the knowledge of understanding the fact that we are not even where we wanted to be. Like, we have so big dreams, like we have so big goals that we can't even afford to brag right now. Honestly, as for me, honestly, I can't afford to brag right now, because I literally have nothing. I literally have nothing. I literally have nothing. Oh my goodness, I have nothing. What do I have? What do I have to brag to you guys? I have nothing. And where I am today, I can only say that it can only be God. And I'm not bragging. It can only be God. And if it's bragging, I have nothing to brag about. It can only be God. And where I'm still going, it will only be God. And I have a strong feeling that as much as maybe I don't want to say this, because obviously it will going to come out rudely to some of you, and I don't want to ruin your moods. I don't want to ruin your moods. So guys, thank you for watching until the end. Please continue subscribing, continue liking, continue commenting, and always remember that it can only be God. It can only be God. If you see me, I'm here today. It can only be God. And when you see me tomorrow, I'm in a different level. Just know it can only be God. And whenever you see me smiling in the camera, whenever you see me recording videos, whenever you see me doing some weird stuff in the YouTube, and you request for my help, and then I don't come through for you, please stop crucifying me. Honestly, we are all suffering in our own ways. We are all struggling in our own ways. Even if you feel like oh, nilikuwa tu nataka pesa kidogo but haukunisaidia. Come on guys, mi hata nataka mingi, sitaki kidogo, nataka mingi. Hata ukinipea kidogo bado hazitanisaidia. Some of us tuko na madeni. Some of us I don't know how to explain this, guys, but please don't be discouraged. If you are in a point whereby you feel like you've reached your end point, just know that it can only be God who can save you, and God is always faithful. And when He says He has good plans for you, just trust in those words and know that our God is faithful, and our God will never lie. And when He says, He surely, whatever He says, it will surely come to pass. And so guys, thank you for watching until the end. Please continue subscribing, continue liking, continue commenting, and until next time guys, I honestly love you. I honestly love you. And more so, I even love those people who comment negatively, because actually you made me do this video. These people who comment negatively, you've made me add another video so that you can also comment in this, and so that I can get content for the next video. And also, for you, by you commenting negatively, that's when it hits us, and I'm like, wow, Queen, what do I have? And then I remember, like, Joyce, do you know, like, you're not where you started. So God has been great, and it can only be God. So guys, toodles, until next time, I love you.